Hey guys, it's Mountain Monday. You know what to do. Breathe in. And out. And breathe in. And out. That's a particularly nice mountain today, isn't it? It's nice and sunny, the weather's nice. I went back to Far Cry 4 because I want to talk about mental health stigma today and a personal encounter with mental health stigma. And over the weekend, because weekends always suck on Twitter, and that's why I do Mountain Mondays, because it stops me from killing people. But over the weekend, there was a guy, not going to name names because it's my opinion, he's trying to drive traffic to his YouTube channel using me to create controversy. And so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to help with that. I'm not going to link to it. I'm not going to do anything like that because that's disingenuous. Hello, who are you? Hi, Yak. Yeah, we're yakking. Go away. Okay. So, there's another one. Oh, no. But this is about what it was like talking to the guy, by the way, being stampeded by yaks. But his bone of contention against me, first of all, he's trying to drag me into a unrelated issue. It had nothing to do with me, but, you know, YouTube trick. Drag in somebody who's a more popular YouTuber to get those fans to get mad at you, and so you drive up your own traffic. It's a trick, I get it. I would normally just ignore this, but the content of his complaint is something I just can't ignore because it's just so, in my opinion, wrong. His main accusation against me, and he accuses me of not watching the video. I did watch the video. I just didn't complete watching the video because after a certain amount, he jumped all over me because he's like, yeah, half, you weren't in half. Stop splitting hairs. No, this is a reasonable thing. It was, I watched at least half. How's that, you nitpicky jerk? But that messed with my zen. But, you know, I got to the part and I was like, me? Why? I was watching it for the actual issue and all of a sudden I'm there. I was like, what the hell? And I listened to it, and his big complaint against me was, as I understand it, that there is some sort of double standard in the way we judge certain internet personalities because I somehow stifled criticism after going bonkers on a web stream. Going bonkers. And this is why we're talking about mental health stigma today. Because I don't think that going bonkers, as he put it, should be a legitimate criticism against somebody. I defended myself against a completely unexpected line of attack. As far as I'm concerned, somebody to me overstepped. It was, you know, all of a sudden I'm the guest in a web stream and it's 4-on-1. But let's for argument's sake, say I did lose my temper, which is pretty much what he's saying is my big crime. First of all, that losing your temper, anger is a legitimate emotion. And I forget how to do this now. Yeah. No, I forget how to do this. No. 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 Oh well, I'll just jump and see what happens. Hey, that didn't work at all. So, say I did, you know, lose it, for lack of a better term. So what? People do that. But when you start saying things like, she went bonkers, well, that's making it sound like being mentally ill is something you can control. And I'm not saying, like, people get very sensitive about this. I'm not saying that you have to watch everything you say and not say, wow, that was crazy, or something like that. I'm not advocating that people should have to watch every word. I'm saying that people shouldn't officially or unofficially criminalize mental illness. They should not make if in his opinion I did go bonkers, quote unquote, which is, let's face it, another term for went crazy, that would not be my fault. And if all I did was get angry, well, that is not the same. Anger can be legitimate. And this is why I can't just go, oh, this guy's an asshole, I'm going to let this go. Because people see this sort of stuff, and it's tabloid language, right? Charlie Sheen goes crazy, and yet no one, puts down their computer and helps the guy. It says, oh, Charlie Sheen, that crazy guy, he went crazy, they're crazy. And when people are entertainingly eccentric, which is essentially what it is, that's eccentricity, the stuff that we find sort of lovable. Where's this thing? Oh, I'm way off base, wow. Eccentricity and mental illness are not the same thing. And like I said, I'm not saying, we should wipe the word crazy out of, no. But in this case, it actually was directly linking, if in fact I did go bonkers, if I did have, what is essentially a psychotic episode, that is something I should somehow be punished for. And I wholeheartely disagree. People who have mental health issues can't help it. It's not a fault of character, and it's not something they can control. If he actually thinks I'm unstable, well then I need help, not derision, and not some asshole attacking me on the internet. And that's my primary issue with this, and this is how stigma works. People use this stuff to pick fights and discredit people, and it doesn't hurt the target because somebody in my position just goes, yeah, you're an asshole. And it would be in my best interest, if I was being completely selfish, to just leave it there. Because then I'm taking the high ground, and I'm not losing it. I'm not losing my temper. And this is the problem with valuing intellect over everything else, right? We sometimes forget that sometimes people have every damn right to be pissed off. But that's a bit of a digression. I'm not going to stay silent on this for my own benefit. You won't let me in. I am going to talk about this, despite people saying I shouldn't, that it's drama. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to speak about this because this is the sort of stuff that hurts someone seeing this who may, actually be struggling with a legitimate mental illness. That's going to hurt them way more than it hurts me. Because this is a passing thing for me. People who are mentally ill have to live with this, every day. Or in jags of time. And so on their behalf, I'm speaking out against this. And on their behalf, I'm saying this is wrong, right? On their behalf, I'm saying I'm not going to duck my head and just stay mute out of a sense of self-preservation. I'm not going to self-censor. I'm not going to muzzle. I'm going to speak out. Because if people don't speak out, it's not going to get any better. And like I said, I'm not saying watch every word. I'm not saying spend every day stressed. People are pretty well aware when they're doing something to hurt and when they're doing something with innocent intentions. And this was clearly an attack on me. An accusation of mental illness was used as an attack. And that's what's different. So I want to be clear, don't worry. Random people, because you said, wow, that was crazy, or, she's crazy, as an observation. And not suggesting that somebody should be actively punished for it, which is what was happening. He was complaining essentially that I didn't get enough of a rough ride for going bonkers, in his words. That was his complaint. And he would not have a discussion with me about that. It was a bunch of gotcha tactics and stuff like that. So for the record, I did try to talk to him. But I'm not going to let, because I've talked to people and I know there are people out here who are hurting and they suffer in silence out of fear that people are going to judge them and not want to be their friend because they're mentally ill. And so that's the thing. Don't be an asshole. It's really simple. Don't be an asshole about things mental illness related and otherwise. So that's my Mountain Monday for today. Like I said, I don't want to make anybody anxious or stressed or feel like they have to watch every word. I'm just looking for basic common sense and an end to the scandal baiting on a stigmatized condition on the backs of people who deal with real hardship every day. So, you know, going bonkers is not an acceptable thing to crucify someone over. And that's my message for Mountain Mondays. Okay? So everybody, we've got our mountain. We've got a nice little moon. Ready? The clouds are clearing. It's going to be a clear night. Everybody breathe in. And out. And breathe in. And out.